you're a fan of Mother Nature, you decided that, you know what, it sounds cool that you could be versatile in everything, but not quite be exceptionally well at everything. You're fine with that. You like the fact that you can DPS. You can hold your own when it comes to tanking, but you're not going to be picked quite often, and you can heal pretty well as well. You can go into cat mode. You can stealth. You can you can go Moonkin form and do some damage with some Moonfire and some other abilities and spells which you run out of mana quickly. You could shapeshift into a bear and take some damage for a bit, and you could heal yourself pretty well. Decided you wanted to roll a Druid in Classic WoW. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. You have two races to choose from: Night Elf on Alliance and Tauren for the Horde. Now, a lot of people will say that this class is not that good. They're not that good in anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. Let me rephrase that. They're good at DPSing, tanking. We've established that only warriors can really tank. Bears can hold their own, but they won't be main tanks. They can heal well. Moonkin is not even viable, so we can't even talk about Moonkin. It's basically non-existent. It's there, but it's non-existent. So you're doing pretty good at all these things. But is that necessarily a bad thing? Not really, and I'll explain why. Druids can shapeshift into many things. While you're leveling, Feral's the best way to go. Cat Feral, I should say. You stealth like a rogue, you do some pretty decent damage, and you can hold your own. But questing with people, like I always say with anything else, it makes life a lot easier. But you can hold your own while leveling. And if worse comes to worse, come pop into some bear form, some increased armor, heal yourself if need be. So you can hold your own. You're not going to out DPS many people, but by all means, you can hold your own. So, with that being said, Feral, like I said, is the best spec to play while leveling, especially if you want minimal downtime, increase some damage done, good to go. So, a couple of basic tips that I want to start off with is make sure that once you learn Fairy Fire, you apply that to every mob that you are fighting against. Reduce their armor. You want to make sure that you reduce their armor. Your spells, your abilities are going to hit them harder. So always make sure that the Fairy Fire spell is always active and it's always on in mob. Always, 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 always. So we've established Fairy Fires there. You're probably going to be going bear until 20 once you learn cat form, and then you'll be good to go, and you'll start doing some decent damage. Now, as I want to talk about endgame really quick. A priest will always out heal you in raids. I'm gonna make that very clear. A priest will always out heal you in raids. But in PvP and endgame PvE, your buffs are important, Mark is wild and whatnot. You're going to be holding your own when it comes to healing. You'll be doing pretty well when it comes to healing. I mean, if you're on a warrior and you're healing him, he's going to be good. Now, if enemies start attacking you more than two, you're pretty much done for as far as PvP goes. But you could hold your own on both. You're going to be expected to heal. No one's going to want to hear that you want to tank. No one wants to hear that you're a feral druid and you're a cat form. You're here to kick ass and take names. No one's going to want to hear that. And don't you even dare bring up that you want to roll Moonkin, because we're going to expect you to go. Well, I shouldn't say we. Your raid leader is going to expect you to go in 30 seconds into the fight. So healing is probably going to be your best bet. You're going to be used for innervate a lot. So be prepared for that. So if you're not okay with healing endgame, this probably isn't the class for you. But if you're good with that, stick to it. It can be very rewarding. Shapeshifting is always pretty cool, and you have some pretty cool armor. And people are always going to be looking for druids. So let's get into it. What leveling spec is best? What talents are best? So I made it clear already that Feral is best for leveling. Here's the talents that you're going to pick: Ferocity, Feral Aggression. Everything's increasing your attack power. Everything's reducing the cost of rage. Everything is allowing you to interrupt. It's getting that crit up and making sure you do damage in every single way possible. And improve Fairy Fire. Not even Fairy Fire. This is Fairy Fire, so that's the talent that you're going to learn. It decreases the armor of the target by 175 for 40 seconds. While effective, the target cannot stealth and turn invisible. So you want to apply that on a rogue. And if you see a rogue or another druid, you do that. Heart of the Wild increases your intellect by 20%. You're out here healing yourself and all that. It increases your stamina and bear by 20%. And increases your strength and cat by 20%. So obviously you're going to need it. Leader of the Pack increases the melee and ranged of your party members within 45 yards by 3%. That's always good. Improved Nature's Grasp, increases Tangling Roots. All damage with physical attacks. So it's this is going to help you do as much damage as possible and make sure that you are good to go once you start leveling your Feral Druid. At 60, I'm going to be real with you. You can PvP with Cat if you would like. See how that goes for you. But if you want to do pre-mades, maybe you could get in this Cat, but your chances are that you're going to be going into PvP and they're going to want you to heal just as they are with raids. But you can always queue up for Battlegrounds and see how you do as Cat. Maybe people will like you and just get you in. So we talked about the talents real quick, what you're going to be expected to do. And next thing I want to talk about is professions. Again, very similar to rogues. I mean, not rogues. I'm sorry. What was it? What profession was that? I was talking about? Sorry, shaman. Very similar to shaman. Herbalism, alchemy, always two good choices. Again, create those flasks and potions, making sure your mana and your health is always up, and you could get some benefits from it. End game, of course, with those flasks. Again, always want to be able to make sure your mana and health is always stocked up. Important. Second choice for professions: skinning and leatherworking. Skin those beasts, make yourself some leather, and you can make yourself some gear and some extra armor hides as the levels go. And yeah, that's two routes you can go about. I believe the herbing and the flasks and the herbing and the alchemy will make you a little bit more money. But at the end of the day, of course, the choice is yours, and whatever you feel more comfortable with, and whatever you think is going to benefit you more in game is your best bet. Of course, like with every single one of my videos, every single guide, I'm going to tell you, get that first aid profession, that cooking, that fishing. Make sure you get it, level it up, use those bandages, saves you money from drinking and having to buy as much food and water. Just buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. It's always something good to keep in mind. So again, always make sure you got that Mark of the Wild buffed up, that Thorns buffed up. Make sure they get some extra damage. That when they hit you with Thorns, they're going to get some damage back to them. So make sure you always got those buffed up and ready to go. If you want to be nice to people, as you see people as you're walking by during the game, throw them a Mark of the Wild, throw them a Thorns. You know, it's always a nice little gesture. You'll probably see priests walking around giving you power, fortitude, or mages walking around giving you arcane intellect. You know, so always one of those, always a good, little thing to do. A good little gesture, just giving people buffs that you see. They'll remember you. Will probably invite you to a group just off of something nice like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy the Druid class once Classic does come out. If you have any questions, link them down below, comment, and I'll try my best to answer them as quickly as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace.